because of the programs that I have run, 5-day live-in program where people do get to not so much tell their whole story, because it couldn't happen in a week, but at least to centre themselves on some of their story, have that acknowledged, and have the feelings around it heard, and being able to express the feelings around it, and having no sanctions on expression. You know, there was no holding back. It was full blast out there. And so with all that intensity, it was quite the natural thing to do was to relax and play. Some people found it very hard to play because quite often with very seasoned perpetrators, playtime usually ended up in abuse time. I suppose it's really not too late to have a happy childhood. It's really that. It's really about learning that play can be safe, that play can be a happy thing to do, a creative thing to do. I've seen happy childhoods lived out in 60s and 70s and 80s, so it's never too late. It is very handy having computer language when we talk about the brain and how the brain gets wired up for certain experiences, because you can always throw that program out and put another program in. Mostly you can do that. It's just a matter of how you do it is the interesting thing. In these workshops that I ran, the visualizations that I used to give people were very deliberate. When they first came in for the workshop, they'd be feeling, well, normally they'd be feeling pretty scared. What's going to happen? I always gave them the image of a tree, of a big old gum tree that had been sawn off at the bottom, but there were still shoots growing up out of the base of the tree. And I couldn't believe it, because when I went down to Victoria to run some workshops down there, I found the tree. It is an absolutely gorgeous tree stump, flat top, with these beautiful green shoots that are growing up from the base of the tree. They're suckered up. And that's the symbol for the abusive childhood, or the traumatised child, is that there's certain things do get chopped off, but there's always that ability to grow. Now it's a bit different. I'm doing advanced studies in how to use music with in therapy, classical music. The difference between working with the talking therapy, yeah, there's a lot of good that can come with that, but with the music, it does invite, encourage the experience of the spiritual to come in as well. And that's just so exciting when that happens, because that is the point of real healing, when it comes into there. And this is without me pushing the barrow of spirituality. This comes from them. I hitchhike on what they do. Last year, as part of this study that I'm doing, I had to analyse a program, one particular program, and to use two people, the experiences, the imagery from two different people with this same program. That was the assignment. Two very, very different people. Now, they both experienced this bark piece in a very similar way. They were both in church, in this. one with the religion background, she was thrown right back to when she made her first Holy Communion, and Jesus came and gave her a big hug in this imagery she was having. Feels pretty good. The other one was there was a marriage, there was a royal marriage going on in her imagery, and you know, it wasn't just an ordinary marriage, it was a royal marriage. So, but both of them had spiritual ties or religion ties in this Bach piece. Now explain that. You know, Bach writes for religions and liturgy, and they experience liturgy while they're listening to the music in an altered state of consciousness. I mean, how clever is that? We have to also allow the space in the session for people to touch into their pain, and it's the encouragement from the therapist is to encourage them to allow the music to float into their body, so as to get to where the pain is. It doesn't say chase the pain away. It doesn't do anything like that. It just, because there needs to be some illumination or some acknowledgement or some kind of recognition that this pain is real and that it's telling me something. Creating a communication between yourself and the child that is within, and nourishing and nurturing that child and protecting that child. It's such a powerful, powerful thing. And there has to be some trust that's built. You have to be able to build trust with that child, because some of those little children do feel abandoned, and they do feel they're lost, and they can't forgive, and they're hurting very badly. So to experience the inner mother, the mother that will nurture them and protect them, is such a powerful, powerful tool for healing that little wounded baby or that little wounded child. It's such a powerful thing. It's the getting our own. We can be our own best parent. We can be our own nurturing parent. We can be our own playmate, our own best friend. You know, when the little child wants to play, then it's a great thing to do, is to be able to play. But being able to accept that woundedness, acknowledge the woundedness, and allow that woundedness to have expression, is the best bridge that we can build between ourselves as adults and that little kid that needs to be loved and nurtured. So it's never too late to have a happy childhood.